Hey, how are you? It's me, Katherine Oster. I am live for my Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time coffee chat. So, today is my first day back. I don't want to say back. First day stepping into my life, a new me with new tools that I gathered and learned about this past weekend during the 3 day class I hosted with Anna Yelenius. So, today I'm cutting the grass. I rode the horses. I'm kind of getting things. It's funny. Like when you take, I don't know, a week-long break from your life. It was like about a week because I picked Anna up from the airport on Wednesday and we brought her back yesterday. So it was about a week long break from my life and what was going on. It really gave me a lot of space to kind of step back and look into my life and what's been going on with it. Now there was some things that I wanted to change, and one of them was this thing that I do with Travis, my husband. And it kind of comes up like once a month or 6 weeks, or maybe it'll go 8 weeks, where he triggers me with a question about something or something. And it's something simple. And this like energy of rage comes up in me. And I wouldn't rage outwardly to him, but the rage energy was present and he was always aware of it. And then what I would say always had this edge to it or this intensity. So it was never like he's aware, he knew, he knows, he knew what was going on, even if I didn't say the words that I wanted to say or yell like I wanted to yell. And that actually happened. Like I picked on up on Wednesday. That happened with him Monday night, and it was about chicken. And now I can laugh at this story because it's never about the chicken. And I knew that it wasn't about the chicken. He just asked me, what I was planning for supper. And I said, well, I brought this chicken home. And sorry, that was on Sunday. I brought this chicken home and I was going to make a salad. And then I was kind of going into my frenzy of unpacking groceries, and he asked me, well, what do I do with the chicken? And this energy came up in me, and I wanted to because what was going on inside of me was stress. The stress that I had to unpack all the groceries. Then the next thing after that, I had to do this, and then I had to do this. And then he asked me this question. And I couldn't be present because I was in a state of stress in my mind. And so he asked me, what do I do with this chicken? And this rage came up, and I didn't say, like, what I wanted to say was, well, what the fuck do you think you should do with the chicken? Eat it? That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't say that. I'm like, well, I took a breath, but it wasn't a deep enough breath. And I'm like, what would you like to do with the chicken? And then he just lost it. He was like, you treat me like I'm stupid, kind of went into this whole thing. And he's like, I don't even like want to talk to you anymore, and it was because I was stressed. And so then he didn't talk to me for a few days. And I mean, that happens. It's happened before. And then I went into this, well, like really actually looking at like what this is. And I have a couple of friends in my life that, I could ask questions about what's going on and what would normally happen after that. And I did apologize, like, I'm sorry, but then I'm like, what am I sorry for? I was just on this loop and I didn't know how to change it. And I love how things come up before a class that are asking to be changed. So that was a really loud in my world. And I didn't know how to change this with him because, like I said, this would come up. Sometimes it would be fine for 2 or 3 months, but it would come up. And so I picked Anna up from the airport on Wednesday, and I told her, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on with Travis and I. And I told her the chicken story, and I'm like, I know it's not about the chicken. And she said, wow, what, with this workshop that I'm doing for you, I think it would be really great to have him at it, and it would really give him some tools and you some tools of how to just, like, go beyond this and actually not have this be an issue for you anymore. Because I was truly like, I was just tired of it. I was sick of it. I didn't want to do this anymore. And yeah, I was blaming him. I wasn't really looking inward at myself and what triggers that. And so the whole class was about the science behind change and how when you're in stress, when you have that energy of stress and anxiety in your body, how your brain works. And it actually, the neurons in your brain will trigger the stress hormones, the adrenal glands, the adrenaline to be released into your body. When you're in stress, that's where you're functioning from. And that's what's happening with your body. So now the thing is, I mean, it's great for fight or flight, but when you create ongoing stress in your life, just by your thoughts alone can create stress in your life. Your body becomes in a state of continuous stress, and it's like you can't really get out of it. And then the other thing that happens is your body actually starts to become addicted. Your body starts to become addicted to that energy, to the adrenaline. It's like you need a cigarette, you need a stress fix as you're detoxing from this. And I'm really becoming aware of in my life how I was addicted to stress, because I would go into this stress even when I was like getting ready to go somewhere, right? I would just turn it on and I would be into this stress mode, which I wasn't truly being present. And it started to become like a game for me, because I would do more things, I would get faster, but I was always in this adrenaline pump. So then Travis would come along and ask me a question, and then I would like rage at him. And it was so weird. Or sometimes even the kids would. And I would know in the moment when I was like in the rage thing, the rage would come up. I'm like, I don't really want to be this way, but I couldn't change it. I was getting like my fix. I was getting my drug, I was getting my addiction then. And so really understanding the science behind how our bodies function and how you can change it has really actually been a huge tool. And Travis too, because Travis, I mean, he's a farmer, and his whole way, he was asking me, like, we had this conversation in the wintertime, and he's like, I would really like to farm without stress. If I could have anything, I would really like to farm without stress. Now, where him and I would kind of run in, or we're different, is I don't see farming as stressful, because I don't have that program, that pre-program from when I was little about farming. I see farming as, fun, and I'm willing to surrender to the weather and go with it. And I just know that we're going to get things done and that it'll be fine. But he doesn't have that. When he was little, because his parents were farmers and, they didn't know any different, but they were also in a lot of stress. And that is generally the energy around farming, is stress and anxiety and not knowing, and that energy. So he was like programmed from a kid to be that with farming, and he didn't know how to be different, but he did know that he could be. And then there's me, who I'm like, what are you so stressed out about? Like, and just telling somebody not to be stressed out doesn't actually give them the information to change it. So he also gained tools this weekend with his stress, and we could actually have a really constructive conversations about things. And, really look at the weather and not be a victim to it and have it not cause you stress. And I know it's going to be a work in progress. I know it's taking it one day at a time. But there is like a new possibility on the horizon for me, and I know there is for him, and I know that there is for us together, because I honestly don't think, after the chicken incident on last Sunday, that he probably didn't want to be with me anymore, because I was this raging sometimes. And then for me, he was this person who was stressed all the time too. So it's like, I think for the first time, we actually got present with each other using the tools of the class. And then we learned, like, So now start changing, your body needs to detox from being addicted to stress. So you have to acknowledge and become aware of when you're looking for that fix. And then we have some tools that we learned to work through that. And one of them is a breathing exercise. And I know that sounds really funny. I didn't think, but it really works. Another one is just to acknowledge what's going on and just to say, stop it. I'm stopping this now. I am not going into that adrenaline pump, into the stress. I don't need my fix. I'm going to go beyond that. Now, as you start to change that, acknowledge in the moment and change it, that the neurological pathways in your brain will actually start to disconnect. And it's probably sounds really ridiculous to you right now, but like the neurons will actually prune away, and those to change so it will get easier, and then you will start to grow new neurological pathways in your brain, and that will allow you to be more present and be more joyful and actually become in love with your life even more. So that's just a little bit about what I got out of this weekend, and it was so amazing. And I'm so excited to know all this and to have all of this, and to know that I don't have to go into stress to get things done. And it's really funny because today, as I'm going about my daily things, there's my routine, and that also triggers because I want to go back. If I don't stay present, up the floor and doing my tidying, that I wanted to flip a switch and go into my fast mode, which would give me that adrenaline fix. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to breathe and I'm going to stay present. And I did. And then it was gone and it went away. And at one moment I thought that I would slow down because I wasn't functioning on adrenaline pump. I'm like, no, it's going to take me twice as long to vacuum my floor now. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I didn't actually. I got it done in normal time, and I stayed present while I was doing it. I didn't turn off and go into stress and unconsciousness. So yeah, and then we did meditations, and I didn't think that I would be the kind of person who would like to meditate. I mean, I really enjoy getting my bars ran. And this meditation that we did actually got me to the same space really quick as a bar session. So I'm really grateful because I can meditate on my own every single day. Whereas getting my bars run, I always require another person to touch the points on my head, which, there's still that. And I can get to this space with meditation, which was just amazing. So that's the weekend. And then, so now taking this energy and being with your horse and using these tools to I'm so excited. So excited. And with this video, I will attach a link. Fellow who did all the neurological studies behind stress